We asked Michigan's very fine offensive backfield coach, he's the most recent member of Schembechler's coaching staff, and we asked Don this past weekend, since he's had a lot of coaching experience prior to coming to Michigan, including the fact that Don was, for 9 years, head coach of Bowling Green University in the Mid-America Conference. What does he think, as an outsider, completing his first year on the Michigan staff, is the biggest single factor concerning Michigan's great success in football over the past 9 years? And Coach Nalen answered,
Bob, there's a multitude of answers really to that question. You know, you think it was a great stadium here at the University of Michigan. You think it was a great academic tradition. However, sitting back and looking at the program in its entirety, I would have to say the number one reason that Michigan every year is a great football team is because of the man himself, and that's Bo. I think that he has more intensity than any coach I've ever been around, and when he gets up in front of his team, there's nobody like him. He commands great respect, and he does a great job with his team. He does a great job with his staff, and I think all of the intangibles combined with Bo make Michigan one of the finest football teams in the country year in and year out.
And that was Don Nalen, and that gives you some idea of his impression of old General Bo. And you know, I know a lot of you are feeling that, well, doggone it, Bo doesn't win the big ones, and he's having a tough time again out here in the Rose Bowl. But I'll tell you this, when you take a look at that man's record, he took over at Michigan in 1969, and do you realize out east they're very proud of Joe Paterno, and well, they might be, because Coach Paterno has a fantastic record, and old Woody Hayes down there, Dr. Strange Hayes at Columbus, is a phenomenal football coach. But over the last 9 years, with all three men at three major universities, Michigan's Bo Schembechler has won 86 and lost 12. That's winning at the rate of 88%. Joe Paterno, including his recent bowl win, has won 88 and lost 17 over the last 9 years. That's winning at the rate of 83%. And Hayes at Ohio State has won 81, and if he lost this afternoon to Alabama, which I understand he did, he has 16 losses, which is also 83%. So Bo Schembechler, year in and year out, over 101 ball games, has won 88% of his games. That's better than any other coach in the country over the past 9 years. You cannot fault a man like that. It's something that happens, jinx, call it what you will. I know this. No group of men will get a better talking to about paying the price for victory and what it means to play in the Rose Bowl than the Michigan Wolverines are getting right now from old General Bo, because you heard Don Nalen. And I've been associated with a lot of great coaches at Michigan. The legendary Fritz Chrysler for 10 years, one of the great ones. I knew Fielding Yost. He was in the twilight of his career when I first appeared on the Michigan scene. The lovable Benny Eustabon, White Hat Bump Elliott, and for 9 years I've known Bo Schembechler. I have never known a more dedicated man to his profession than General Bo. He tells a youngster, you come to Michigan, there's nothing under the table. You come to Michigan, I'll try and utilize your God-given talents 100%. And I'll promise you that if you sell out, I'll sell out 100%. You know where Bo was New Year's Eve? Watching films all evening long. His wife sat in her room alone and watched TV. Good or bad, I'm not talking about that aspect. I'm just saying this man is dedicated. His players know, sure, he's tough. Strict adherence to discipline, combined with a fetish for physical conditioning. That's been the creed of Bo Schembechler, and he's winning at the rate of 88%, and I don't think there's a better coach in America today, or a young man gets a better education, both on and off the field, how to handle themselves. As Bo said, there's a price tag on everything in this world, young men, and if you're willing to pay the price, you can achieve it. Bo's motto over all of the offices back there in Ann Arbor, what the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve, and those who stay will be champions. Bo Schembechler has 7 Big Ten champions in 9 years at Michigan. He coached 6 years at Miami of Ohio. He was twice the Mid-America Conference champion and finished second 4 times. In other words, it's 15 years at 2 major schools. He's won the league championship 9 times, finished second 6 times. That means any young man that comes to Michigan is almost assured of a bowl trip for 4 straight years. I sound like I'm recruiting. I'm not. I'm just, this man is talking to him. We're going to have a great second half.